Well, not that it makes any difference, but the polls show I'm not alone in being sick and tired of this whole Monica Lewinsky deal. I never thought I'd ever hear myself say this, but I'm almost relieved the president was getting his ball valve drained. Why, with all the pressure he's been under lately with Saddam Hussein, he probably needs the release. Because I don't exactly think Hillary's been doing her marital duty to help diplomatic relations in the bedroom. But I'll tell you how burnt out I am on this presidency in crisis on the TV. I actually stooped to watching the Olympics. Now, I know that out of respect for the spirit of peaceful international competition, military actions are usually frowned upon during the games. But I don't think I can wait for the closing ceremonies before we start bombing the crap out of Iraq. In fact, after finding it impossible to stomach even 10 minutes of the tedious coverage, I'd like to suggest that maybe we get the ball rolling by making Nagano ground zero. Because aside from that hot little Russian ice dancer who looks like Madonna, and the fact that downhill skier Tommy Moe's name seems more appropriate for a member of the men's figure skating team, there ain't nothing going on. It lacks the drama and excitement we had the last time the Winter Games were held, when women's figure skating became a contact sport. Yep, what this Olympiad needs is some hitter chick like Tanya Harding to spice things up a bit. Get Michelle Kwan to loosen the screws on that perky little Tara Lipinski's blades, forcing her to take a header out of a triple toe loop and crack her melon on the ice like a walnut. In fact, on the whole, I'm looking for some Sonny Bono-type agony of defeat moments. I want to see Kennedy, that MTV hairbag covering the snowboarding event, doing a Kennedy into a tree. We need some French guy flying off the luge at about 100 miles an hour. I want Jim Nance to be the tragic fatal victim of friendly fire initiated by some Claudine Longe mishap over at the biathlon. Hell, let's send the president over there so he can bring his unique perspective to the coverage of the women's hockey team. How long do you think it'll be till he's in the locker room with Cami Granato and Trisha Dunn giving new meaning to the term hat trick?
Bernard McGurk of the Imus in the Morning program is here in the front row. Now, Bernard, you bash the Knicks all the time, and now here you are in the front row. Please.
No, I love it. The Knicks are they're coming around. Go Knicks. I'm all over it.
So now you're a big Knicks fan.
I'm a big Knicks fan from way back.
There you have it. On tape.
You disgraceful, disgusting, gutless, spineless piece of jelly.
Disgraceful edit job is what that was.
Going to the game tonight, Bernie?
Play the whole thing and you'll be proud of what I said.
It didn't sound to me like there were any edits.
Like
what edit?
Edward Scissorhand edited that damn tape. You kidding me?
If your radio like sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Yeah, come on.
He ambushed me.
You are a spineless worm.
Oh, that's a lie.
One sentence leaps out.
Yeah.
I'm a big Knicks fan from way back.
And that is
That's
true.
all we need.
And that's true.
Oh, okay, then.
That's it.
But way back, but not
Shut up.
not now.
Shut up. Go ahead. Mike Green continues. Knicks.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
This is the Imus in the Morning radio program, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. The current Central Park temperature, 68 degrees. Skies are mostly sunny.
With George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease, as you were, Worms. There is bad news from the front. That is why I've called you people here today to join me in this bunker, 450 feet below the surface. To inform you, we have lost the war. The struggle to topple our flash dancer-in-chief president is over. Lost by the single worst battlefield commander since George Armstrong Custer, the pathological loser whose name shall live in infamy. Kenneth Starr. What it means to you and me is that we will continue till hell freezes over, evidently, to be led by a conscription-dodging deviant, Bill the Bra Snapper Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States. Hard as that is to swallow. Excuse me. Use of both hard and swallow in this context was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Make that as difficult as it may be to believe. There, better. Here is what this litigating moron has blown.
Yeah.
Private, give me a Hussein headache on those lights and roll out our movie machine. Ready? Launch. Any survivors?
No, sir.
Good. All right. Let's review the allegations. As I display them on the screen, you will see that each is accompanied by the appropriate pictorial display illustrating each act with which defendant is accused. All right, slide A, allegation A.
Oh, well, all right now.
At ease, at ease. The charge that our commander-in-chief regularly and frequently got these from a chick barely out of the Barbie doll stage. Can anybody describe what this is? Yes, Private.
Sir, that's a knob job, sir.
Correct. In your training films, you were directed to be very cautious in seeking this sort of activity.
Yeah.
Something lost, apparently, on defendant. Slide B.
Oh, God, oh, God, oh,
At
God.
ease. Show a little more control than defendant, please. The allegation depicted that he laid those big, flabby lips all over another babe who strayed too close to his grab zone. You can see where the hands are deployed in violation of this here and that there. Identify. Yes, soldier.
T&A, sir. T&A.
Well done, son. You know your anatomy. In the interest of time, I shall simply enumerate the other assertions in this case. That he had a 970 do-me line to Monica. That he sent his Amistad deckhand out on truth control patrol. That G-Man actually caught the son of a bitch installing an intern on his presidential staff. And that, in short, about the only meaningful difference between the Titanic and this defendant is that only 1,500 went down on the damned ocean liner. And yet, equipped with all of this and more, incompetent counsel Starr managed to blow what was well on its way to being an airtight, locked and sealed freshman law school case. It is now clear, people, not only should this dumb bastard not be allowed to prosecute the president, he shouldn't even be turned loose with a notary stamp. Pray for a war with Baghdad, boys. Otherwise, we are over. Thank you for your attention. That is all.
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. I know you got it.
Imus.
Hey, if you think you wouldn't be in here, I know you got it.
Imus.
If you think you wouldn't sing that thing, because it makes me sing.
Imus in the morning.
That's the guy who's trying to steal back the title. 82-78. Here's WFAN's John Minko with the last 5 seconds of the game.
10 seconds to go in the game. Childs right side corner court bounces it. Allen uses one-on-one, fires it up over Brandon. No good on the shot. The rebound comes to Tyrone Hill, and he's fouled by Charles Oakley.
Not bad. Hill then made the 2 foul shots. 10 seconds left in the game. A good play-by-play man, John Minko.
Yep, he is good.
Yeah, good. Very good.
He does. I like Minko.
Love Minko.
Knicks now 10-9 without Patrick Ewing. What a bizarre finish in Portland. Portland beat the Nets 98-97. Now, if they bet on games, people would be suspicious.
Okay.
Here's how it went.
Uh-oh.
Sam Cassell misses a second foul shot with 2.5 seconds left. Nets are trailing by 1.
Yeah.
But the Nets get the ball because it went off a Blazer.
Okay.
Now, in a trick play, Sherman Douglas then throws the ball in off the back of a Blazer player, retrieves the ball, puts it in, and the referee says, no goal because you didn't have possession of the ball in bounds. So he waves off the basket. That's twice.
Yeah.
Then the Blazers throw the ball in with 1 second left. The Blazers' Rasheed Wallace is called for a foul for jumping over the back of Kerry Kittles. But the official says no foul shot because Kittles never touched the ball.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Something's
Kendall Gill then missed the three-pointer at the buzzer. I mean, come on. It's like they were making sure that the Nets didn't win the game.
Sounds like it.
Like the Packers laying down in the end zone.
There you go.
Fine, here we go.
30-year-old,
Six was in.
Just like it.
30-year-old Brian Cashman, who began as an intern 12 years ago in the Yankees organization, is the new general manager of the Yankees,
All right.
replacing Bob Watson, who resigned. Here's Cashman's philosophy.
Sometimes you make the right moves for the right reasons.
You know what Steinbrenner doesn't understand? Steinbrenner doesn't understand that nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. Even when he goes to the Knicks game or he's in a restaurant or something and people are friendly and stuff, but no one respects him and no one likes him. No one. I don't know anybody who likes him.
Who has genuine affection.
No,
for,
absolutely not. He's just he's a big fat loudmouth and nobody likes him. But I mean, but he has a bunch of sycophants around him.
Because he has parent money to kiss.
You know, and a bunch of you know, almost like the I-Man.
Just exactly like the I-Man. I couldn't agree.
I mean, nobody likes that
You're
fat
right about that. Nobody. I couldn't agree with you more, boss.
And poor old Bob Watson. He's an African-American general manager who did a fine job, I guess. But
Great
job, but just got, you know, just humiliated. And I felt sorry for Mr. Watson yesterday. He was resigning, but, you know, and for some reason he pulled a Vin Rames deal and took the high road and could have hammered that fat Nazi, but decided not to. Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
The guy's a disgraceful human being, contemptible human being, horrible human being.
Change the rules.
Ugh, he's just a horrible person, and everybody hates him. Yeah. And, you know, even reasonable people, sports writers in the New York Times hate him. Dave Anderson hates him. You know, there's nobody more mellow than old Dave, right?
That's it. Absolutely.
Get him out. George Vesey doesn't hate anybody.
Sure.
Hates him. Everybody hates him.
Kill him.
Eight radio.
Anyway, all right. What else, Morgan?
The world champion Florida Marlins have been invited to the White House in a couple of weeks to be honored by President Clinton. Problem is, of the 25-man roster, 11 guys have already been traded.
See ya.
There's nobody left. To compensate for the loss of the players, the Marlins are bringing in 14 interns.
Yeah. I'd end with that if I were you.
Okay. For Imus in the Morning Sports, this is Warren.
The T1 Hospital, Billy Bob.
Well, I reckon what you're wanting to know is what I think about this presidential penis deal. I hear tell on the radio he got this thing what makes his wiener take shape like a banana. Turns way over to one side, like a real sharp off-ramp from the highway. Peyronie's disease. Some people call it sling blade weenie. I call it Peyronie's disease. Regular Peters is usually like an axe handle. Narrow at one end, dull at the other, though some got's a little nub at the end of it. Them Jewish fellers got them deals what looks like little beanies. I reckon the reason they got them is make the little head look just like the big one. They wear them yarmulkes on their noggins, so I reckon that's why Jewish boys, when they're little babies, go to this moil feller, so they can get a beanie on their weenie.
Fine.
Some people call it a circumcision. Jewish fellers call it a bris. I call it somebody taking a concert blade and whacking off a piece of your Peter. Which sound to me a whole lot worse than that Peyronie deal. Though I reckon it could be a mighty inconvenient for you if you got a pecker what ain't a pointing in the same direction as you're pointing. Especially when you're having your way with a woman. She'd have to stand in the next room.
Fine, Carl.
I guess it wouldn't be so bad if a curving like that gave it special powers. Like a divining rod.
Yeah.
It'd be good if the president could use his Peyronie baloney to find precious minerals with it, or water. He could make himself a little extra money, which he's probably gonna need once this Paula Jones finally gets him into court. Thing about it is, his divining rod don't point him towards precious minerals, but it does seem like it always ends up finding him in hot water.
This is Julius
And Ethel
Rosenberg. Did you know that the majority of dead people are Jews? 85% of all dead people are Jewish. So remember, if you persecute Jews when you're alive, boy, are you going to get it when you're dead.
Imus in the morning.
Mike and the Mad Dog have Super Mets-Yankees Subway Series tickets.
Program, it is 19 till the hour. All right, here now on the Imus in the Morning program, our old friend Scott Muniz. Scotzo.
He spent much of his childhood on a cattle ranch, most of his life sporting the image and persona of a badass cowboy. And yet in 6 seconds, a stallion named Destiny lived up to its name and physically achieved what I, like many others, have secretly and not so secretly wished, to get the I-Man off my back. The good news, Fats, is you're okay. The bad news is you're in pain. Or is it the other way around? Whatever anybody thinks, at least it's not that embarrassing. I mean, even the Pope kisses the ground from time to time. He just doesn't get thrown from a horse before he does it. I checked you out on MSNBC, and despite the extent of your injuries, you look surprisingly good. Although I will admit, I always thought it'd be another 20 years before I'd see you walking around with a nose tube and portable oxygen tank. Don't get me wrong, I'm sympathetic, but I gotta say, you're not exactly an equestrian role model, are you? I'm no horseman, but even I know that the first rule of horseback riding is, don't fall off the f***ing horse. There are people at resorts in the Catskills and the Poconos who manage to ride without getting bucked off. You're growing up around these animals and then getting thrown like some accountant from Great Neck is like a demolitions expert checking his gas tank with a Zippo lighter. I mean, you got through the entire 80s without going down this hard, and that was when you were still drinking. The National Professional Rodeo Association called. They want that hubcap-sized belt buckle back. And you can forget about that moron cowboy hat of yours. From now on, Deirdre's going to make sure you don't go anywhere on the ranch without wearing a hockey helmet. What I don't understand is, over the past couple of years, your brother's managed to kill a petting zoo's worth of innocent animals, but yet the surly steed who puts you in the hospital gets a stay of execution. Has he got something on you? Photos of you and Fred and some of the better-looking sheep in some compromising positions? In the old days, you would have had this beast's fetlock shipped off to the kennel racing factory before you even hit the ground. Humans have done less damage to you and not fared as well. You say it's not the horse's fault. Yeah, and Roger Clemens wasn't aiming for Mike Piazza's fat head either. This new horse may seem a little more tame, but I'm telling you right now, he gets wind of the fact that Destiny was given a reprieve, he'll challenge your authority too. If you want to ensure that this kind of thing doesn't happen again, you got to get this animal's mind right. I mean, what's the point of carrying around the colt on your hip if you're not going to use it? Get the two of them together in the pen. Grab an iron skillet off the chuck wagon. Point to Destiny. Tell the other horse, this is you. Whack Destiny between the eyes with the frying pan and then say, this is you if you buck me off. Any questions?
Now wait a minute. Imus in the morning.
Staten Island University Hospital's brain radio.
Let's go to the audio tape.
All right, 11 minutes till the hour, and here now, live from New York, Patrick McEnroe. Good morning, Mr. McEnroe.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. The 71st All-Star Game tonight in Atlanta. Ken Griffey Jr. will not appear in the All-Star Game, but he did compete in yesterday's Home Run Derby.
That sucks.
Well, he won the Home Run Derby the last 2 years, I-Man.
Didn't win it this year, did he?
He did not win it this year. This Derby was a one-horse race.
Yeah, he got married.
And that horse?
I get it. Destiny.
Sammy Sosa.
Ball to straightaway center field. Oh, that's long gone. Long gone. Long gone. Straightaway center field. I never saw it land. Neither did the 48,000 here at Turner Field, giving Sosa a standing ovation. What a show Sammy has put on.
Little delayed bomb, but we finally blew it up. Charlie Steiner and Dave Campbell on ESPN Radio.
They should be suspended.
Good assignment for them.
They're due batting practice.
Pull the home run derby.
Oh, they did an excellent job there. Terrible of you to say that, Lou. They did a great job.
They were awful.
What, they're exciting. There was Sammy Sosa.
They
didn't see it land. It was tremendous.
They sucked.
Almost as good a job as Doc Rivers did in Orlando this year.
Oh, get out of here.
Grant Hill, of course, looks like he's headed there, I-Man.
Oh, really?
They're going to be a serious force next year.
He did so much for Detroit.
It sounds like Tim Duncan, though, is going to stay in San Antonio. For a while, it looked like he might join Hill in Orlando.
Nobody cares. Duncan or Grant Hill or Doc Rivers. Nobody cared. Nobody. Yeah, come on.
Speaking of summertime, now let's go back to baseball, huh, man? Want to hear what Sammy Sosa had to say after the Home Run Derby?
No.
I remember the last 2 years I went there and seen everything, so I don't know how don't give me myself opportunity to see what's going on.
You cannot do that to Slam and Sammy. Winning the Home Run Derby for the first time.
Sammy's out of here.
Delighting the fans in his home country, the Dominican Republic, not to mention the Chicago Cub fans all over the world, I might add.
Yeah.
Many surefire Hall of Famers will sit this one out. including McGuire, Bonds, and Piazza. Derek Jeter will start in place of Alex Rodriguez, who's out with a concussion. Now the Yankee shortstop says what the All-Star game needs is more players.
Every year you have players that are left out. You know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, when you...
Hey, guys.
What is the matter with you?
These cuts suck.
Oh, come on. These are outstanding cuts.
They are
And
awful.
they're only getting better and
How did
better.
your tennis thing go? Why don't you report on that?
Which tennis thing? Wimbledon?
No, your dopey tennis team. Wimbledon.
Forget that little tournament over there.
Yeah.
Well, the New York Hamptons went down in our first match last night up in Schenectady, New York.
This is the one you wanted me to invest in, right?
Did I ask you? I didn't ask you to invest in. I wanted you to play and come out and play in one of my home matches.
By the way, one more call from your dad, and I'd have been down probably 20 grand. So.
By the way, as I told you when we spoke on the phone a week or so ago, maybe this accident that you've had, which has been tragic, will help you see the light that you should take up a nice, friendly game like tennis.
I'm not playing tennis with a bunch of panty-wearing bozos.
Bernard and Lou are going to come out this weekend and play, do a little exhibition.
Are you, Bernie?
They're ecstatic about it.
Oh, well, that could be fun.
And MSNBC is coming out to film it.
Well, they covered Willie Nelson's July 4th concert. They'll go anywhere.
They'll be anywhere.
MSNBC. Yeah.
They will be out there.
Well, that'll be fun. It'll be fun with Bernie and Lou. That will be fun.
It will be fantastic. Monica Seles will be there that night.
Oh, great.
I want to see Monica ripping some of her two-handers at Bernie's chest.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on, Bigfoot. All right, we don't have a lot of time here. Let's wrap it up.
All right, let's wrap it up. What do you want to go for? How about University of North Carolina? Search for a new head basketball coach continues. Hey, does anybody out there want this gig? First, Kansas coach Roy Williams, a UNC grad and former Dean Smith assistant, turned down the job. Then Annie Fogler, the South Carolina coach, turned it down. Now NBA coaches Larry Brown and George Karl removed their names from consideration to take over as men's hoops coach at their alma mater. 76er owner Pat Croce is Larry Brown's boss, and yesterday he read Coach Brown's statement to the press.
After discussions with my family and considering how much I care about Philadelphia, the management, and our fans, I have decided to continue my efforts and fulfill my dream of helping to bring a championship to Philadelphia. Yes!
Now that's the one you should have blown up.
God almighty.
Settle down, Pat.
Let that one go.
That is. Well, I was kind of interested in that one, so I got sucked in on that deal.
Would you like to hear what Ernie Grunfeld said about George Karl, who was also up for this job?
Yeah.
And he's staying put in Milwaukee? Well, here's Ernie.
George loves it here. He loves his situation with...
All right. Oh, he loved it. I'm riled up, baby. I'm Patrick McEnroe, and that is sports.
Imus in the morning.
Sunoco, maker of...
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all this crazy question they're asking me? This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see. Mama told me let's go. Mama told me let's go. That is the way that I know. Imus in the morning.
This is the Imus in the Morning radio program on WFAN New York and Infinity Broadcasting Station. 9 o'clock, time for Imus in the Morning News.
Oh, yeah.
Stop teasing us.
I got a get a wild card here, a note. The station reads the White House.
Oh, here we go.
Which one of them is it now?
I don't believe
That's the only
this.
question. This is so sickening. I'll read it to you. Dear Don, I was very sorry to learn of your accident. This note brings with it my best wishes for a quick return to good health.
Oh, my God.
These people,
God.
another lie.
Have they no shame?
And my hopes that you are well on your way to recovery. Sincerely yours, Hillary Rodham.
Oh,
please, no.
Stop it.
But these people wanted me dead.
Good
What the hell are they kidding?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lipikas.
When you say you died 2 times,
Yeah.
are you still counting VH1 or not?
Imus in the morning.
The following ad wasn't tested for effectiveness. It wasn't tested.
Never pass up the chance for an interview. She likes to talk
until her face turns blue. And she don't give a damn if what she says is true. She likes to move all around the map. She tries to spruce New York shoes in a Yankee cap. She'd like to make a utopia, but for now she'll settle for a house in Chappaqua. She likes to ruin all of my fun. Ride on the Air Force One, stay in the president's suite. But until she gets a chance to hold an office of her own, her life just won't be complete. She's a toll-taker, troublemaker. She ain't no homemaker, image maker, deal maker. She's a decision maker, lawbreaker, troublemaker. She's quite a belly acher, mover shaker, money maker. Acts like a Studebaker, tricky, tricky. It's such a pity, pity. She is tricky, tricky. But she'll be Ricky, Ricky. Watch out, Ricky. Me llamo Guillermo. Yo soy el chulo. Tu no le gustas? Beso mi culo. I like cigars from a humidor. I like a fat intern who will act like a whore. I like to grab women on the butt. I like a large with extra cheese from the Pizza Hut. I like thong underwear. Raise my hand and swear. Lie one under oath. I don't care. Hillary only has disdain for my failure to abstain, but now she's got her own campaign. I feel your pain. I like to bite my lower lip. Give the feds a slip. Smoke but never do inhale. I like to have my little fun, but if you did what I have done, you'd probably end up in jail. Cause I'm a toll taker, troublemaker, a little mischief maker, playmaker, deal maker, and his decision maker, lawbreaker, troublemaker. I'm quite a speech maker, mover shaker, money maker. Show me a chick, I'll make her tricky, tricky. Cause I'm so slicky, slicky. Give you a hickey, hickey. How about a quickie, quickie? Hola, señorita. Mira esa sorpresa que tengo aquí para ti. Pequeño. Aw. Tricky, 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 tricky. Hey, you got pretty titties, pretty titties. Tricky, 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 tricky. And those are pretty titties, pretty titties. Go, baby. Tricky, tricky. It'll make you sicky, sicky. She is tricky, tricky. But she'll be Ricky, Ricky. Watch out, Ricky.
The opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange at 30 past the hour is brought to you by buyandhold.com. Put stock in your family's future because at only $2.99 per order, now everybody can invest for the long term. Well, at half past, I-Man is, probably adjusting his O2 intake and shoving his shoulder back in its socket or what have you. So, at any rate, here's a quick headline summary of stuff going on today that we've been talking about. Israel's politically battered Prime Minister Barak is in this country now to begin the big peace summit with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat today. That's going to be at Camp David in Maryland. The meeting is being...
He's heading towards the stairs.
I don't. It's gone away. 22 till the hour here on the imus361 morning program. Who's going to be on tomorrow, Bernie? Do we know yet?
Mr. Barnacle.
Okay, we're also going to have Colleen with the Imus Ranch report live from the ranch out there. What's the name of the?
It is Country Music. Just
Country
that.
Music.
Country Music. Got a good picture of the I-Man right inside there.
Let me see the. Oh, that is a good picture of the I-Man. Yeah. Well, how about that, Bernie?
There you go. What makes a good picture of the I-Man?
Well,
that's a nice picture.
That's a nice picture of the I-Man. You bald-headed stooge.
God. A rubber chicken with a hat on top of it.
That is a very ugly, hurtful thing to say about the I-Man. Well, unfortunately, I did suggest that Leroy Parnell could not sing.
That's right.
And I would now like to retract that statement. He can sing some songs. And, for example, from the Kinky Friedman album, Pearls in the Snow.
Yeah.
Nashville Casualty in Life, Leroy did a great job on that.
Fabulous.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great job on that one.
He can sing.
He can sing. He's one of the great slide guitar players in the history of slide guitar playing. Leroy is. But, Leroy ain't no George Jones or Vince Gill or...
Well, he's terrific.
But I've said some very ugly things about Leroy. into who I like a lot.
You said, here's the quote, and I like Leroy Purnell, he says of his good friend before delivering the punchline. Can't sing worth a S, though.
Well, that was just a gratuitous remark.
That's not...
That was a gratuitous remark about Leroy Purnell, and I would like to retract that.
And you can quote me on that one, too.
So I did have some other ugly things to say about people that I do not retract.
Yeah.
And F them, too.
Yeah, so. But some very nice quotes in there from nearly my lifelong friend, Kinky, Richard Kinky Big Dick Friedman.
Right.
And I love Kinky, and I've nothing bad to say about Kinky. He's one of the sweetest souls on the planet, Kinky Friedman. And most brilliant, too, I might point out. So, there's a picture of me and old Kinky. It looks like it was taken backstage at the Lone Star in 1975.
I don't know what you're doing there.
Well, I got a big old cigar in my mouth, and it looks like about 8 quarts of vodka. Yeah. And I'm also flipping a bone in a magazine. You see that?
Oh, absolutely I do.
Oh, that's really nice.
That's lovely.
A picture in a magazine, a country music magazine, that I'm flipping a bone. Oh, that's very nice.
With being subtle about it. Yeah.
Oh, God almighty. Can grow up.
Really?
It's
an old jackass. Trying too hard.
That is trying a little too hard.
That's not what we're looking for.
I think old jackass is a little strong, don't you, Bernard?
No, not at all.
Okay, 19 till the hour here on the imus361 program.
Just because I ask a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I rang her number by mistake today, she thinks I still care. Imus in the morning.
Only in New York, only with a card.
Type taking a swipe, right with the stereotypes. I think this little dude be sucking on a crack pipe. Wanna whoop.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I-Man. American League makes it 4 in a row, 10 of the last 13, beats the National League 6-3. Yankees' Derek Jeter, substituting for the injured Alex Rodriguez, went 3 for 3, including a 2-run single, and was voted the first Yankee ever to win the All-Star MVP.
I wasn't aware that no other Yankee had won this award, and it's kind of hard to believe.
Why didn't Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, or Joe DiMaggio win the award?
I don't know.
Because there was none when they played.
Oh.
The first All-Star Game MVP wasn't given until 1962. That's why. National League now leads 40-30 with one tie. 34-year-old Cowboys Michael Irvin, one of the great clutch wide receivers in the 80s and 90s, called it quits yesterday. After 12 years with Dallas, suffering a spine injury against the Eagles last October.
It's hard to say goodbye. And it's not hard to say goodbye to the game. I'll say goodbye to playing football. But it's hard saying goodbye to playing football here. It's America's team, America's fans. It's hard to say goodbye.
Oh, God.
Come on.
Just say goodbye. Just get out.
Come on.
God.
There's no crying in football. Hey.
Michael Irvin.
Irvin has been hired as an analyst for Fox Sports.
He'll be great.
Oh, that was a great play.
And more news from the NFL since you were away, I-Man. Carolina wide receiver Ray Caruth has had his trial postponed to next year, plotting to kill his pregnant girlfriend. And Raider place kicker Sebastian Janikowski was arrested again, this time for possessing of an illegal drug. But the good news, most NFL training camps will be open by next week. So the streets will be safe again. Notre Dame's Matt Doherty named new head coach at North Carolina after the Milwaukee Bucks refused Carolina permission to talk to Bucks coach George Karl.
I'm in a very good situation here. There's no question that a lot of my heart is very much Carolina and probably do bleed Carolina blue.
Man,
Well,
sounds like heck with the Bucks.
why don't we find out what he bleeds?
No.
Hey, I-Man, I interviewed Pete Sampras yesterday.
Well, that's great. What happened there?
Well, he was in town to promote that Wheaties on the box of the Wheaties. I asked him about a high-ranked woman playing a lower-ranked man.
Chris Evert once said that number one woman couldn't beat the 350th man. Do you think that's changed because of the Williams sisters?
No.
No.
So, I mean, to be honest, no.
And you know why Chris Everett knew that the number one woman couldn't beat the 350th ranked man, I-Man?
Wow.
Because she was married to him.
Oh, my God.
John Lloyd.
There you go.
We're just about out of time here, Warner. I hate to.
My time is up. I thank you for yours, I-Man. This is Warner Wolf.
On the Imus in the Morning program.
Right.
Oh, my God. They killed Imus in the morning.
All right, when it comes to investing in the stock market, buyandhold.com encourages you to buy
WFAN 20 Sports.
Listen to Jody McDonald and Susan Waldman from 10 to 1, followed by Mike and the Mad Dog from 1 to 6:30. And in the nighttime, Schmooze with Steve Summers, followed by Joe Beningo in the overnight, here on The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
My name is Timothy. It's 13 after the hour. All right, please welcome now to the Imus Morning program the Washington Bureau Chief of NBC News and the host of Meet the Press, old friend Tim Russert. Good morning, Mr. Russert.
Welcome back, Mr. Imus.
Thank you very much.
That oxygen little thing in your nose, what is that all about?
That's to help me breathe.
Now, did you
I can actually take it off. I'm taking it off now. Let's see how long I can talk to you with it on. Be a little tense.
Will your voice get higher?
It'd be great if I could. It'd be great again if I croak talking to Russert.
Hey, three's a charm.
Well, thank you.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
We do have a birthday coming up, don't we?
Yeah, I'm going to be 79 years old here in a few days.
60. 60.
No, I'm not going to be 60.
You're going to be 60.
No, I'm not.
You were born
okay. Get me up. Well, fine, get me upset.
You will be 60 years old.
Well,
you were born
okay.
in 1940.
Fine. It's just like the other facts on Meet the Press.
Listen, the president's dog's name's Luke, and you're going to be 70.
In the morning.
All right. I guess I'm supposed to read here, right, Lou?
That is correct.
What am I supposed to read?
The commercial is E-Trade.
Oh. Did we ever do the business report?
I don't think we did.
No.
Well, gonna have to make that up.
Yeah.
Hey, it seems like a market.
12th, the year 2000, a Wednesday, a day like all days, filled with the gaffes and miscalculations that characterize our system of television network news and the blockheads responsible for it. Whom do we find splayed across the media watch gurney of investigation today? Bent double, sallow sagging sitter exposed, cheeks gaping wide, awaiting the probing finger of fact? Identification is child's play, really, for the pie pan puss at the other end there could only belong to Tim Russert, the affable, if blundering, head honcho of NBC's Washington Bureau and host of the venerable program Meet the Press. What's the latest faux pas to be laid at Mr. Russert's chubby feet? This man who once broke into regular programming to divulge to us the name of President Clinton's new dog? His name is Luke, intoned Tim, with a great and obvious relish of the true Washington insider. Only problem was, of course, he was totally, unconditionally, comprehensively, utterly Peter Arnett wrong. Next time, Tim, think about using one of your lifelines. And the latest fact fractured? The flat, confident, some might say swaggering prediction by Russert that First Lady and New York senatorial candidate Hillary Clinton would one day be a guest on the Imus in the Morning radio program. Yes, that the I-Man, an unbending Hillary detractor whose expressions of contempt for the woman's blatant sophistry and deceit are now the stuff of legend, would nevertheless, at the end of the day, pull an Imus, cave in, and allow Ms. Clinton to appear on the show. Mr. Russert.
Let me tell you, did I not bet you 6 months ago that Hillary Clinton would be on your program?
She's not going to be on the program.
She is making her way. She will be on your program before she's on Meet the Press. I guarantee it.
A guarantee Mr. Russert felt especially comfortable in offering in view of the transparent, duplicitous, get-well communication that Ms. Clinton sent Imus following his recent equestrian mishap.
That little MASH note you got framed there, where do you hang that? Above the bedpost or what? Come on.
The clear implication, Tim Russert is convinced that a soppy, wet, tongue-in-the-ear kiss-up is all that's required to become an Imus in the Morning guest. The advice, then, from this old and similarly incorruptible scribe of straightforward fact? Stay out of the prediction business, Mr. Russert. Leave those of us in your vast Meet the Press audience to only wonder whether you've got cheese doodles between your ears. Why in the world go out of your way to confirm it? Indeed, Tim, read this and read it well. Garth Brooks will be a guest on the Imus in the Morning program before Hillary Rodham Clinton is, the hated anti-Hank. Robert Torricelli, Earth's most accursed, valueless organism, will be an Imus guest before Hillary is. Lucianne Goldberg, Sammy Allred, and Chinga Chapin will sing Feelings while performing a live menage a trois before Hillary Clinton becomes an Imus guest. What the hell? Bill Clinton will be an Imus guest before Hillary Clinton is, and will show us Willard. In short, to state it in terms you can apprehend, it ain't gonna happen. Oh, the dog's name was Buddy, Tim, and yours is about to be Mud. For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Thank you and good night.
Walking bird dog.
Yeah.
Just a walking bird dog.
How are you now?
If you don't know how to do it, show you how to walk bird dog. Come on now, come on, come on. Imus in the morning.
All right, when it comes to investing in the stock market, buyandhold.com encourages you to buy stocks in good companies and to hold on to them for the long term. You know, this is a great company. I tell you, it's a great sport. Now, and here now with all that is Patrick McEnroe. Good morning, Mr. McEnroe.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. Big announcement for the XFL yesterday, the new league co-owned by the WWF and NBC, and is scheduled to begin its 10-game season in February. Well, L.A. and Las Vegas join San Jose, Orlando, Memphis, and Chicago as 6 of the 8 new teams in the league. The L.A. franchise will play at the Coliseum, and Vince McMahon was not exactly subtle, as he noted that his league has a team in L.A. unlike another prominent football league.
The arrogance and the lack of common sense of the suits that run the NFL not to have a franchise here in Los Angeles, the second largest market in the country, is not to be believed.
Oh, drop dead, you muttonhead.
Oh, man.
And McMahon would not stop there. He also talked about some of the un-American rules of the big, bad NFL.
When the suits in the NFL legislate the fact that someone can't celebrate in the end zone after scoring a touchdown, that's downright un-American.
I guess what will be American is doing sleeper holds on the quarterback.
He's lost.
The Yankees acquired left-hander Denny Nagel from the Cincinnati Reds yesterday for 4 minor leaguers, including Andy Arnold and third baseman Drew Henson.
Any tennis news?
Well, we'll be getting to that, Iman. Can you just hold your horses?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can.
Or hold on to the horses?
Yeah. I'm going to. Oh. Okay. No horsey jokes at the Iman's expense. Okay.
The Yanks get another left-hander to add to their rotation, and, of course, he joins Andy Pettitte. They don't have to give up any major leaguers, but Yanks GM Brian Cashman says, hey, we still gave up a lot in this deal.
Eddie Arnold was going to be our 5th starter this year. That's what we thought, and obviously there's been a hiccup along the way. So the Reds have made this hurt.
Oh, yeah, hurt real big. Just a couple hiccups for Arnold. The guy had an ERA over 15. Was not going to pan out. One of the main reasons the Reds traded Nagel is that the pitcher is a free agent after this season. Nagel was asked if he would consider signing a long-term deal with the Yanks.
I'd be foolish not to listen to anything that the Yankees want to offer me. You know, I mean, the chance that everybody wants is to go to a team that's going to have a chance to win year in and year out, and to play with, in front of packed houses.
Doesn't hurt that George has got some deep pockets to pay Nagel after this season. Meanwhile, the Reds have obviously given up on this season, despite the fact that they're just 5 games back in the wild card race. Reds third baseman Aaron Boone says he can't believe that this deal happened.
It's a tough blow, when you're sitting there in second place and, at the same time, our season hasn't gone as planned and,
so
there's real mixed reaction.
It doesn't sound too mixed to me. Sounds like they're pissed off. How's Ken Griffey Jr. feeling now? They're watching Seattle sitting in first place. And he's with the Reds, and they've given up on the season. Nice move, Ken.
Well, look.
Holy cow.
Drunk.
Where's all this? What's happening to you?
I'm just getting my angst up because I get a big match tonight, man.
Well,
the
it's bigger than you think.
Yeah, I know it is.
It's a lot bigger than you think, because if you don't win tonight, man, I mean, this is it's like Rob. Now, Rob had one Broadway foray that frankly was a disaster. Now he's just opened in this new play, Tabletop, down at some theater on 19th Street. You can call for reservations at 212-924-0077, in which in this morning's New York Daily News, Rob is singled out among the cast of 6 for a rave review.
Absolutely.
So that puts Rob in the winner column.
Sure.
Where are you so far with the New York Hamptons tennis schedule this year?
Wait a second.
You're 0-2. You're in the loser column so far.
The nerve of you to give out his phone number and not mine for tickets.
Well, we'd be happy to give out your phone number for tickets.
631.
Yeah.
653.
Right.
4220.
That's a confusing number.
It is. That's why I'm going to say it again. 631-653.
Right.
4220. That's the new area code out in Long Island.
631.
It's replacing 516.
Now, will some of the owners be there tonight? Will, like Michael Lynn, will he actually be there this evening?
I'm not sure he'll be there tonight, but maybe he'll be there this weekend.
Because he owns a couple of wineries.
He does.
Out on Long Island as well. So the big challenge for Mike Lynn is to make it past the wineries to actually get to the tennis tournament. And one of the reasons he bought into your New York Hamptons is because on that day that he decided to invest, he did not make it past the wineries.
He thought you were John.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Well.
So he's very, very excited about this.
We've known him for 30 years. We know how excited he is. If you think we're putting pressure on you to win, you wait till he talks to you at halftime, whatever it is you have.
Right, and because he has winners at his winery, I-Man. He's got a big rave review in Wine Spectator for one of his products, Bedell's 95 Cupola, which gets the highest rating. Wow. It gets the highest rating, a 90, of any wine in the eastern United States.
Wow. So if Mike Lynn has got a winner wine,
he's got a couple of them actually.
He's got a couple winner.